Hey y'all, today we're going to talk about backlinks. We're going to go into more detail about what makes a backlink good or bad and why they're important for traffic to your site and to help build your business. To start, what is a backlink? A backlink is a link from another site linking back to your site. Why are backlinks important? Google is looking for relevancy. It wants to promote the most relevant site given the query that their audience is searching for. How does it determine relevancy? Backlinks are a huge part of that. Now, there are other aspects that determine relevancy, such as content on your site, topical authority, page speed, technical optimization, and then of course there's the backlinks. We're going to focus on backlinks and what makes a good backlink and what makes a bad backlink and what to do if you do have bad backlinks. By the end of this video, you're going to have a clear idea on how to differentiate your good from your bad backlinks and what to do with them once you've found all of your bad backlinks. So let's go back to that relevancy part. Backlinks help Google determine relevancy. For instance, if you are in the digital marketing space, you have a website and you have a bunch of links from other sites that are not related to your industry, those wouldn't be very relevant. Google would look at that and go, why are you getting links from a fishing site or a sports and outdoors site or any other site that's not relevant to the industry that you're in? And it doesn't assign your site as an authoritative figure because you don't have any relevancy within your own industry. However, on the other hand, if you have relevant sites that are related to the digital marketing space, or if you're an electrician, to the electrical and subcontractor space, then your site would be considered a relevant and authoritative figure in that industry. And Google's going to push your site higher in keyword rankings and in turn drive more traffic to your site. Now there are a bunch of different types of backlinks, but we're just going to focus on two at the moment: do follow and no follow. I talked about this a little bit in my last video. So what is a do follow and no follow link? Essentially, a do follow link is a link that tells Google, go ahead and follow this link to the site that it's linking to. You can see here in the scripts itself on the back end of the site, that no follow tag. No follow means do not follow this link to the other site. And essentially, it makes that link useless. And Google doesn't see it as an authoritative or a relevant link. And so they don't follow it and they ignore it, and you don't get any link juice, is what we call it in the industry. So what makes a good backlink? You want your backlinks to be from reputable, high authority websites that are relevant to your industry. In addition to that, you also want your links to have a natural feel and flow to them. They should fit within the content and context of the web page that is linking to your site. If they fit this criteria, it's relevant to your industry, it's from a reputable website, it's considered an authoritative figure in the space, and it's naturally placed within the content of this page that you're trying to get a link from, that would constitute as a solid backlink. Why are good backlinks so important? Not only do they drive your authority in that space, in your industry, up, they also can drive referral traffic from that site that's linking to you and bring in additional traffic on top of the keyword rankings you're getting from Google for that backlink. Now let's talk about what a bad backlink looks like. These are links from low authoritative, spammy websites or sites that have very little relevancy to your industry. These can also be links from other forums, comments on other people's blog posts, things like that, even links from author descriptions. These are not considered high quality or high value backlinks. The consequences of having bad backlinks on your site can be very detrimental, from as bad as getting penalized by Google and getting your site literally de-indexed from Google to as little as losing traffic and relevancy in your industry, which can impact your overall growth of your business. So let's talk about auditing your backlinks. First, there's two different ways. You can do this the free way, or if you're already paying for some software, in this case we're using SEMrush because we pay for SEMrush, you can identify what are good backlinks and what are bad backlinks. Obviously the free method does take more time and a little bit more digging, but you can still do it for free. Since we already have SEMrush up, we're going to start with SEMrush. We're looking at a site that we own for our spice company, and if you look here you can see a whole list of different backlinks, and you can see the toxicity score up here in the right corner. You can see the authoritative score. You can see the anchor text. You can see the page title and the source, and where that link is pointing to on your site. All of these factors help you determine whether or not this is going to be a good quality backlink or a bad backlink that you need to remove. As you can see, it puts the toxicity score up at the top, and as you scroll down, you can see that toxicity score get lower. Green obviously means it's a pretty good backlink and has a lower toxicity score, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good backlink or a bad backlink. So let's take a look at some of these backlinks. The first thing you want to look at is the page authority. SEMrush calls this an authoritative score. Other sites like Ahrefs call it a domain rating. Moz calls it a domain rating. They all mean the same thing. Everyone has their own way of coming up with their own score, but they all do a similar thing. So the first thing we're looking at is authority score. And as you notice, some of these are pretty low value authority sites. We do have a couple in here, like Dallas101.com, 39, that's not bad. But the rest of these are fairly low. The second thing we want to look at is the anchor text. If you hover over it in SEMrush, it'll show you the entire anchor text if it's not showing it already. So in this case, we're looking at French Tarragon dash the natural spot. It's not a bad anchor text, but we want to be really careful with anchor text. Too many anchor text backlinks with exact matches to the keyword you're trying to rank for will get you penalized. So the best practice here is to change it up, mix it up, add some different types of anchor text, whether that's naked, which would simply be your URL, branded, which would be the name of your business, exact match keyword anchor text like you see here, and variation keyword anchor text, a slight variation on the primary keyword. In this case, it could be how to use French tarragon in soup. The other important factor we want to look at is relevancy, and this plays a huge role in how authoritative and how powerful that backlink is actually going to be for your site. There really isn't an easy way to tell directly from SEMrush how relevant that link is, so we have to actually click through and see. So let's take a look. Now obviously there's different types of backlinks. You can have PR or news backlinks, which are great regardless of the industry, but even better if they're specific to your industry or your location. And the other kind would fall underneath the category of general backlinks. So let's take a look at some of these and determine how relevant. So let's take a look at these and see how relevant they actually are to our site. We look at this one right here, Cafe Powder, East Phoenix. Okay, let's just open this up. It's a Chinese restaurant. That's relevant to spice industry because they sell food and we sell spices. So I would consider this a pretty good backlink. If we go back, we can see here, you can see the link to our website. And here is the actual backlink. Chipotle Cafe Powder dash the natural spot. When you click this, it takes you to our website. This would be considered a good backlink. Let's take a look at another backlink and determine its relevancy. If we click on this one here, and even before clicking on it, you can already see the URL bicycle-outlet.blogspot.com. I have a feeling this is not going to be very relevant to our site, but let's check it out. Oh yeah, this is not a good site. You can clearly see that this is a very generic blog site that has zero relevancy, and honestly it's pretty spammy with pop-ups and other things. So we're going to exit that This is a site that you would not want linking back to your site. Okay, so we know how to look for good backlinks and bad backlinks and how to identify them through SEMrush. Let's take a look at Google Search Console. This is the free way to analyze your backlink profile and determine if you have good backlinks or bad backlinks. If you come into Google Search Console and you scroll down, you're going to look for links on the bottom left-hand side navigation bar. You're going to click on links, then you're going to click on external links and show more. And this will show you all the backlinks you have going and what pages they go to. Now, it doesn't directly show you all the backlinks right away. You have to dive deeper down the rabbit hole in order to expose the links. So if we click on our home page, you can see that we have 8 incoming links. And now you can see what sites are linking back to that specific page, in this case, our home page. If you click further, for instance, on Pinterest right here, you can see the exact URL. So we'll back out of this a little bit. This is a great way to see if the site is relevant as well. Now, you don't get the domain authority and you don't get the anchor text. You kind of have to go and explore each page individually. Like I said, it is free, but it does require more work. If you want to look up the domain authority, you can use sites like Ahrefs or Moz and get a free few checks on domain authority for those sites. You might have to wait a few days to burn through your entire list, but at least it doesn't cost you anything. So let's check out some of these sites and just focus on relevancy. If we look here, Rank Award, we come over here and we click this to expand it out. And then we click here to see if the site has any relevancy. Right off the bat, I can see that it's directing me somewhere else, which isn't a great start. On top of that, it's also redirecting me to the home page, which basically means that this page that originally was linking to it no longer exists. In addition, if we look here, we can see that this is another SEO company and doesn't really have any relevancy to our Spice company. So this would be considered a bad backlink. Now, if we wanted to come in here and check the domain authority, we could go into a tool and search. You can go here to Ahrefs website authority checker, plug this in. You can see that they do have a pretty high domain authority, but again, it's a redirect from a different site and has 0 relevancy. So in my opinion, this would not be considered a good quality backlink or one that would provide much authoritativeness to your site. This would probably be a site that I would want to get rid of. So by now you've heard me talk about getting rid of bad backlinks. To get rid of a backlink, we disavow it. And to do that, again, there are 2 ways. I'm going to show you both. The first way is through SEMrush. Since we have access to it, we can come in here and we can click on any site that we want to go ahead and get rid of. There are a handful of these that we honestly just really don't want, and we know without even looking at them, these are not good quality sites. We'll get rid of these guys. Okay, so let's say we're done checking all the bad sites, so let's say we're done checking all the bad backlinks we want to get rid of and disavow. Now that we've checked them, all we do is come up here and we hit disavow, and we want to move the domain. That way, if for whatever reason these sites try to link back to our site again in the future, Google ignores the entire domain and any backlinks coming from that domain, not the specific URL. Now if we come over here to disavow, you can actually see all the sites that we have added to our disavow list. Now you're asking yourself, what do I do from here? You're going to hit this export to TXT button. And what this does is it creates a text file that you're going to upload to Google's Search Console disavow site. To find this, all I did was type in Search Console disavow into Google and it pops right up. Once you're here, all you have to do is take this notepad text file and upload your disavow list, and it tells you 21 domains are disavowed. Now, this is something that I recommend using with caution. You don't want to disavow too many backlinks, and you don't want to use this constantly. What I would recommend is doing a check once a month, seeing what backlinks need to be disavowed, adding that to your list, simply modifying it and adding it to the list. If you do this too frequently, Google's going to get suspicious of why you're constantly having to disavow bad backlinks and why you're constantly getting bad quality links to your site. And it's going to cause some red flags. And Google's going to start looking into things, and they may penalize you even if you haven't technically done anything wrong. So again, use this sparingly and keep that in mind when you're using this text file and disavowing sites. Now let's talk about how to do this for free through Search Console. If you're doing this through Search Console, you need to set up your TXT file through Notepad ahead of time. It's really quite simple. There's not a lot to it. All you really need is this pretext domain, and then in whatever the domain is that you want to disavow. Or if you're going to just disavow the URL, you're going to start with the pretext URL : and then type in the URL. Now, I've added in domains up here with a £sign in front of it. This is a comment, and Google ignores these, but it makes it easier for me to keep things separate and see exactly what I'm disavowing. You don't have to do this. I just like to have it so I can keep things a little bit more neat and tidy. So for this instance, we're going to have our notepad here, and we're going to take this link, rankaward.com. We're going to come into Search Console and click copy URL, come back here to our notepad, and then we're going to come under URLs, and we're going to paste that there. If we want to disavow the entire domain, we would just copy that, and now we've disavowed both the URL and the domain. So if we were ever to get another link from this domain, which I don't see happening since they're redirecting to a different site, it would automatically disavow that one as well. And what does it mean to have a site disavowed? Essentially what happens is when you disavow a site, Google ignores those backlinks. You're telling Google, these were not from me, I do not want these backlinks, they are making me look bad. And Google says, okay. And then they ignore them. So to recap, there are good backlinks and there are bad backlinks. And backlinks carry so much weight when it comes to ranking your site and driving relevant traffic to your site. It's really important that you keep a check on your backlink quality. Any good backlinks you want to keep, any bad backlinks you want to make sure and get rid of. Go through and use these checks to make sure that you have relevant, high authority, contextually and textual anchor text, and that your backlink is coming from a reputable source. If it fits this criteria, it's a good backlink. If it fails any of these, it's up to you to determine how bad the backlink is and if you do want to disavow it. If you do, add it to your disavow note, upload your TXT file to your disavow site in Search Console, and Google will ignore it. Again, I suggest doing an audit on your backlinks at least once a month. I do not recommend uploading a disavowed TXT file more than once a month, but it's a good idea to just at least keep a check on the quality of backlinks you're acquiring. I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be talking a lot more about backlinks, content, using AI to help automate some of these processes and make SEO easier for you. If you have any additional questions or comments, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll be sure to answer all of them for you guys. We'll catch y'all next time. Bye.